Hey guys, I just wanted to share a quick story from today with you all. So today was supposed to be, today was Sean and I's first day on the island without a team or without like a conference or anything. So this was really technically like our first full day off. And it was my first full day off since December 21st when we got engaged because I was planning a wedding and I was a full-time student and I was working 2 jobs. So this was the first day that I just kind of didn't have any responsibility or anything to do, which was wonderful. So we decided we were just going to take it easy. We woke up and we watched Harry Potter 2 in our room here, and then we decided we wanted to head to the beach. There's a beach not too far from here. It's really cheap to get in, and it's really nice. It's not too crowded ever, just because of its location. So we went and got a cooler, and we got some ice, and we got Pepsi and water, and got everything we needed. And by the time we got there, there was like this huge rain cloud overhead, and so we were like, oh man, like it's gonna rain. But in Jamaica, like sometimes it'll just rain for a few minutes, and then it's done. So that's kind of what we were hoping for. But from the second we put our towels down on the beach, which is at like 12:30 or so, it started to rain. And right now it's 5:52 and it has not stopped since. So that's like almost, a little over 5 hours of raining, and that's crazy. So we decided to just stick it out because we thought, okay, even if it just rains for an hour, there's this really cool hut like that has like a bar or restaurant thing inside of it. So we're like, we'll just stay here, and watch the rain come in over the ocean because it's still beautiful. And in Jamaica, there's not like lightning, and the weather stays like pretty warm, so it's not like miserable to just be out there and watching the storm come in. So we decided that's what we do. So we got these delicious smoothies, and we ate some French fries, and we read our books. And then somewhere in there, the rain wasn't really letting up, and so somewhere in there, I was like, hey, let's just like get an umbrella and sit outside on the beach. So we rented an umbrella, and so that way Sean was able to go swim like in the rain and stuff, and I was able to sit under the umbrella and read. And that was just the coolest thing ever, like sitting that close to the ocean and watching the rain hit it and the storm come in. Like, it was just amazing. I'm sitting in this umbrella on the beach, and there's this storm going all around me, and like the ocean is like feet in front of me. And it was just really cool. And Sean was having the time of his life, just like swimming around, and there's these little trampoline things, and he swam out there and was like doing backflips off them and stuff. So that was just, it was so fun. So we're out there for probably like, what do you think, 3 hours? 3 or 4 hours?
3 hours.
3 hours. And finally I was like, okay, I'm miserable, I'm really cold, let's just go. But our car was parked at Burger King, which is like a little while away, and it's still like pouring down rain. So we just decided to like go for it and walk all the way back. So we do, and we're soaking wet. Our towels are soaking wet. All of our, we still had our bathing suits on, but like everything we had with us was wet. And so we just like got in the car and started driving home. Well, all the streets were like flooding really bad. So traffic was really bad because everyone was driving really slow. And there's a couple parts where we were like, oh no, this little car is not going to make it through this huge like pond in the middle of the road. And so we end up like making it through all those spots. But then where we live, there's like 2 turnoffs that you can take to go up, and it's like a high road. So we knew that it wouldn't be flooded up there, but the 2 turnoffs are like on the low road, and they were flooded really bad. So we were like, okay, there's no way we're making that up there. When we saw it, it was like completely flooded. So we drove down the street, down the highway a little ways to another Burger King, and so we just pull in there. Sean's like, oh, I'm kind of hungry, so we end up getting food. And we're just sitting there, and the rain is still coming down. Like, doesn't stop one time the whole time we're there. And there's this little boy, like, sitting across from me. And he asked me for money, and I was like, no. And he asked me again, and I was like, no. And he asked me again, and I was like, seriously, kid, like, I'm not giving you any money. And then I just kind of felt like the Holy Spirit was like, Rachel, are you serious? Like, that's how you're going to treat this little boy? And, yeah, it was just kind of like the reminder of like, when I was hungry, you saw me and you didn't feed me when I was, whatever. So I'm seeing this little boy. He's clearly hungry. He's clearly malnourished. He clearly has nowhere else to go other than this Burger King to hide from the rain. And so I was like absolutely gonna get him food. Not gonna give him money because you never know where that's gonna go. Like if I give him money, who knows? It could be like his older brother takes it from him and goes and buys drugs or something. You know, who knows? So Sean comes back with a tray of food, and Sean has no idea this is going on because he's up like waiting for the food. So I'm just like sitting there by myself, like having this like internal battle with the Holy Spirit. Like, this boy is so annoying. Why does he keep asking for money? Like, just because we're white, he thinks we're tourists, so he thinks we're going to give him money. And then I was like, what am I doing? Like, that's ridiculous. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to give this little boy food. So Sean comes back with our tray of food, and he sits it down, and I take my fries, and I was like, I'm going to give these fries to the little boy. And he was just like, okay, like, whatever you need to do. And so I stood up, and I gave the little boy the fries. And when I say little, he was probably like 12 or 13. But he was like really, really skinny, and his eyes were like really yellow, like where it should have been white. And you could just tell that it had been a while since he had eaten anything. So I gave him the french fries, I gave him some ketchup and some napkins, and his eyes just kind of like lit up. And he didn't say thank you or anything, which I didn't really expect him to. But he just kind of lit up, and he was just like eating them, and his eyes were like so big the whole time he was eating them. So then I'm sitting there, and Sean had gotten up again to go get some more ketchup, and you have to like specifically ask for the ketchup packets like from the people behind the counter. You can't just like get your own ketchup whenever you want. So he was up there waiting for a little bit, and while he was up there, I like asked the little boy, I was like, do you want a hamburger? And he was like, yes. And I was like, do you like cheese? And he just like shook his head yes. So I got up and I like passed Sean on my way up there, and I was like, I'm buying him a hamburger. And he was just like, okay. Yeah, so we bought this little boy a cheeseburger and fries. And yeah, so then we get back in the car, and like I said, it's still been raining. And so we were like, okay, we're just going to make it. Like, we don't even care how flooded the entrance to the turnoff is. Like, we're just going to go for it because we're tired of the rain. We're tired of sitting in our bathing suits. Like, it was just time to go. So, but we knew that, like, the road conditions wouldn't have gotten any better in that time because it didn't stop raining the whole time. So, normally it's like hours after the rain that the roads clear out because they're so flooded. So we start going back, and we see the first turnoff, and it's like almost completely cleared, like almost completely no water. And both of us were just like, what? Like this, there's no way, that makes no sense. It's been raining the whole time, so how can there be like less water here than there was? I don't know. Anyways, it was just like crazy and a complete impossibility. And so then we came to the conclusion that the whole reason they were flooded the first time was so we would drive past them to seek shelter at this Burger King. So we would have the opportunity, or rather I would have the opportunity to be slapped in the face by the Holy Spirit and be like, Rachel, wake up. Like, just because it's your time off doesn't mean your ministry has stopped, doesn't mean your calling has stopped. Or just because you're in Jamaica and people expect you to have money and expect you to give it to them freely because you're white and you're different and they think you're a tourist, like, that doesn't change your call, and that shouldn't change or harden your heart to these people. And so that was huge for me, because in America, if any of you know me, my parents will relate to this, I cannot see a homeless person on the street and not get them food. Like, I just can't do it. I can't do it. It breaks my heart. But then in Jamaica, for some reason, I think maybe, yeah, just because of the fact that, like, it annoyed me that I thought people thought I was a tourist, and because of that I had money to give them, that it was like my heart was hardened to them when they would ask for food or money. And it's happened twice now in a restaurant since Sean and I have got here. So I needed that. I really needed that. And so I'm thankful. I'm thankful that the first time we came, went past, the roads were flooded. And the second time they were completely clear so we could get home safely. But we had that detour in between so we could bless this little boy and so we could give him food. And so I could, you know, learn this lesson that I needed so badly. Yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. Sean and I are now reined in because we decided we're not dealing with the rain anymore tonight. So we're just going to have peanut butter sandwiches here, and we're going to watch Harry Potter until we fall asleep. So that's the plan. All right, well, we love you guys, and we miss you so much, and we'll see you soon.